In 1901, a young Pablo Picasso witnessed something that would change not only his art, but our understanding of how colors affect the human psyche. His close friend Carlos Casagemas, struggling with unrequited love and personal demons, attempted to kill the woman who rejected him before turning the gun on himself. Picasso, devastated by this tragedy, fell into a deep depression that lasted nearly 3 years. During this period, he painted almost exclusively in shades of blue, creating some of the most haunting and beautiful works in art history. But here's what makes this story truly fascinating from a psychological perspective. Picasso didn't just choose blue because he felt sad. His brain, in its traumatized state, was drawn to the one color that modern neuroscience now confirms has the most profound impact on our mood and mental state. Blue light suppresses serotonin production, disrupts sleep patterns, and can trigger depressive episodes in vulnerable individuals. Picasso's blue period wasn't just artistic expression, it was a neurological response to trauma. The old guitarist, the melancholy figures, the blue-tinted world of poverty and despair that Picasso painted during these years all reflected not just his emotional state, but the actual chemical changes happening in his brain. When he finally emerged from this period and moved into his rose period, painting in warmer pinks and oranges, it coincided with his psychological recovery and return to emotional stability. This story reveals something profound about human nature. Colors aren't just aesthetic choices. They're not just cultural symbols or artistic preferences. Colors are a direct line to our nervous system, our hormones, our emotions, and our behavior. They can heal us or harm us, energize us or drain us, make us fall in love or fall into despair, often without us even realizing what's happening. But wait a minute. Was Picasso's choice of blue really just coincidence? Or did he subconsciously select the color most compatible with depression? Modern science shows us that blue truly affects the chemical balance in our brains. Research from Harvard Medical School reveals that blue light exposure reduces melatonin production by 23%. It suppresses dopamine release, increases cortisol levels, and disrupts our circadian rhythms in ways that can trigger depressive episodes. This isn't just interesting trivia. This is the foundation of a hidden force that shapes every aspect of our lives. From the moment you wake up and see the colors of your bedroom, to the clothes you choose to wear, to the restaurants where you eat, to the products you buy, to the relationships you form, colors are constantly influencing your thoughts, feelings, and decisions in ways you probably never imagined.
A frosted hue, old vinyl crackles spinning through.
Today, we're going to explore the secret psychology of colors. We'll discover how each wavelength of light communicates directly with your subconscious mind, triggers specific neurochemical responses, and shapes your reality. We'll uncover why red makes your heart race, why green calms your nervous system, why yellow can make you creative or drive you crazy, and why the colors around you might be more important to your mental health than you ever realized. The story begins with understanding that color isn't just something you see. It's something your entire body experiences. When light enters your eyes, it doesn't just create a visual image in your brain. It triggers a cascade of biological responses that affect your hormone production, your immune system, your stress levels, your appetite, your to concentrate, your willingness to take risks, and even your perception of time passing. Your eyes contain specialized cells called photoreceptors, and scientists have discovered that you actually have 3 different types. 2 of them create vision, but the third type, discovered only recently by researchers at Oxford University, exists solely to detect light and color for the purpose of regulating your biological clock, your mood, and your physiological responses. This means that color affects you whether you're consciously looking at it or not. Even people who are completely blind can experience the psychological and physiological effects of color through these specialized cells. This discovery revolutionized our understanding of how environments affect human behavior. It explains why certain colors make you feel energized or tired, happy or sad, aggressive or peaceful. It's not just in your imagination. It's not just cultural conditioning. It's biology, it's chemistry. It's the result of millions of years of evolution programming your nervous system to respond to different wavelengths of light in specific ways. Let's start with red, humanity's first color. Archaeological evidence shows that our ancestors were using red ochre in cave paintings over 100,000 years ago, making red quite possibly the first conscious aesthetic choice our species ever made. But why red? The answer lies deep in our evolutionary biology. Red is the color of blood, of fire, of ripening fruit. For our ancestors, red meant the difference between life and death. Red blood indicated injury or violence. Red fire provided warmth and protection. Red fruit offered nutrition and survival. Over millions of years, our nervous systems became exquisitely tuned to respond to red wavelengths with immediate attention and physiological arousal. Modern neuroscience reveals that red is processed by the fastest neural pathways in your visual system. When you see red, your brain responds in just 65 milliseconds, faster than conscious thought. This triggers an immediate release of adrenaline and increases your heart rate by an average of 5 to 7 beats per minute within seconds of exposure. Your blood pressure rises, your pupils dilate, and your muscles tense slightly, preparing your body for action. This is why stop signs and fire trucks are red. It's why warning labels use red text. Your brain is hardwired to pay immediate attention to red before it even decides whether there's actually something to worry about. But red's psychological effects extend far beyond danger signals. Studies conducted at the University of Rochester found that men rated women as significantly more attractive when they wore red clothing or were photographed against red backgrounds. The researchers called this the red dress effect. And it's not limited to romantic contexts. People wearing red are perceived as more confident, powerful, and successful across virtually all social situations. In competitive sports, teams wearing red uniforms have a statistically significant advantage. A comprehensive analysis of Olympic combat sports revealed that athletes wearing red won 62% of their matches, compared to 38% for those wearing blue. This advantage was most pronounced in evenly matched competitors, suggesting that red creates a psychological edge that can tip the balance in close contests. The business world has long understood red's power. Coca-Cola's iconic red branding doesn't just create brand recognition, it physiologically increases your desire to consume their products. Red packaging has been shown to make food products taste sweeter and more flavorful. McDonald's uses red and yellow specifically because red stimulates appetite while yellow creates a sense of urgency, encouraging quick consumption and faster table turnover. But red comes with psychological costs. Chronic exposure to red environments increases stress hormones, can contribute to anxiety disorders, and has been linked to increased aggression and violent behavior. Prisons that experimented with painting cells red experienced 25% more incidents of violence compared to those using neutral colors. In different cultures, red carries wildly different meanings, and these cultural associations interact with our biological responses in complex ways. In China, red symbolizes luck, prosperity, and joy. It's the color of celebration, weddings, and new beginnings. Chinese athletes often wear red during competitions, and red decorations are essential for Chinese New Year celebrations. In Western cultures, we associate red with danger, passion, and power. We have red light districts, red alerts, and we see red when we're angry. In some African cultures, red represents mourning and death, creating entirely different psychological experiences of the same wavelength. There's also a fascinating gender difference in red perception. Women can distinguish between shades of red far more accurately than men, an ability that may have evolved because red-tinged foods often indicate optimal ripeness and nutritional value. This enhanced red sensitivity may explain why women are more likely to use red in fashion and cosmetics as a social signaling tool. Now let's explore blue, which presents one of the most fascinating paradoxes in color psychology. Blue is simultaneously the world's most popular color and the color most strongly associated with depression and sadness. How can one wavelength evoke such contradictory responses? The answer lies in understanding that blue affects different neural systems in different ways. And these effects can vary dramatically based on saturation, brightness, context, and individual sensitivity. Light blue, the blue of clear skies and calm waters, activates your parasympathetic nervous system, triggering relaxation responses. It lowers blood pressure, reduces heart rate, and promotes the release of serotonin. This is why blue is so commonly used in bedrooms, spas, and meditation spaces. Your brain associates light blue with safety, openness, and tranquility. But darker, more saturated blues, the blues that Picasso used during his blue period, have entirely different neurological effects. Deep blue wavelengths can suppress melatonin production, disrupt circadian rhythms, and reduce dopamine activity in ways that mirror the neurochemical patterns of clinical depression. This isn't just correlation, it's causation. Researchers at the University of Granada found that people suffering from seasonal affective disorder showed increased sensitivity to blue wavelengths during depressive episodes. Their brains literally processed blue differently when they were depressed, creating a feedback loop where blue exposure worsened their symptoms, which made them more sensitive to blue, which deepened their depression. The blue light emitted by screens, smartphones, computers, and tablets is particularly problematic. This artificial blue light is much more intense than natural blue wavelengths, and it's hitting our retinas at times when our brains expect darkness. Studies show that just 2 hours of blue light exposure before bedtime can suppress melatonin production for up to 3 hours, leading to insomnia, mood disruption, and cognitive impairment. The epidemic of sleep disorders, anxiety, and depression in modern society may be partially explained by our constant exposure to artificial blue light. We're essentially tricking our brains into thinking it's perpetually midday, disrupting millions of years of evolutionary programming that expects periods of darkness for rest and recovery. But blue's effects aren't universally negative. In corporate environments, blue has been shown to enhance analytical thinking and improve focus. IBM, Facebook, and countless other technology companies use blue in their branding precisely because it communicates trust, reliability, and intellectual sophistication. Blue environments increase productivity for detail-oriented tasks while reducing errors and improving concentration. There's also a fascinating connection between blue and creativity. While red enhances performance on practical tasks, blue environments have been shown to boost creative thinking and innovation. Researchers theorize that blue's calming effects reduce anxiety and self-censorship, allowing for more free-flowing associative thinking. The cultural significance of blue varies dramatically across societies. In many Middle Eastern cultures, blue wards off the evil eye and provides spiritual protection. In Hinduism, blue is associated with divinity. Krishna, one of the most beloved deities, is always depicted with blue skin, representing the infinite nature of consciousness. In Western cultures, we have blue blood, referring to nobility, blue collar, referring to the working class, and feeling blue, meaning sadness. Interestingly, blue is often the last color that human languages develop words for. Ancient Greek texts describe the sea as wine dark rather than blue. Ancient Egyptian art depicts the Nile River in brown and black, never blue. The ancient world seemed to have a kind of blue blindness, not physiological, but linguistic and conceptual. This suggests that our psychological relationship with blue may be more culturally constructed than we realize. Green occupies a unique position in human psychology because it's the color we've evolved alongside for millions of years. Our ancestors spent their entire lives surrounded by green vegetation, and our nervous systems are still calibrated to respond to green as a signal of safety, abundance, and life itself. When you look at green, your eyes don't have to work as hard to process the information. Green wavelengths are at the center of the visible spectrum, requiring the least amount of adjustment from your eyes' focusing mechanisms. This creates an immediate sense of visual rest and relaxation that translates into psychological calm. This is more than just a feeling. It's a measurable physiological response. Studies using electroencephalography show that viewing green environments increases alpha brainwave activity, the same patterns associated with meditation and deep relaxation. Green exposure for just 10 minutes can reduce cortisol levels by 12% and increase heart rate variability, a marker of resilience and stress recovery. The Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, has been extensively studied by researchers who found that spending time in green forest environments doesn't just make people feel better, it creates lasting changes in immune function, hormone regulation, and stress responses. People who spent 2 hours in green forest environments showed increased natural killer cell activity that persisted for up to 30 days after the exposure. But green psychological effects extend far beyond stress relief. Green environments have been shown to enhance creativity, improve focus, and increase willingness to take productive risks. This is why so many technology companies have incorporated living walls and green spaces into their office designs. Google, Amazon, and Microsoft have all reported increased innovation and employee satisfaction after adding more green elements to their workspaces. In healthcare settings, green has profound therapeutic effects. Patients with views of green spaces from their hospital rooms recover faster, require less pain medication, and experience fewer complications compared to those with views of buildings or parking lots. This effect is so consistent that it has influenced architectural standards for healthcare facilities around the world. Green also affects our decision-making in fascinating ways. People are more likely to choose healthy foods when they're presented against green backgrounds. Green packaging makes products seem more natural and environmentally friendly, even when the contents are identical to products in other colored packaging. This is why so many organic and health food brands use green in their marketing. It creates an unconscious association with wellness and purity. The color green has complex cultural associations that vary widely across different societies. In Islamic cultures, green is considered the holiest color, representing paradise and the Prophet Muhammad. In many African cultures, green symbolizes fertility and new life. In Western cultures, green represents money, envy, and environmental consciousness. These cultural overlays interact with our biological responses to create rich, complex psychological experiences. There's also an emerging field called green prescribing, where healthcare providers literally prescribe time in nature as a treatment for depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions. The results have been so promising that countries like Scotland and New Zealand have incorporated nature prescriptions into their national healthcare systems. Interestingly, people who live in urban environments with less access to green spaces show different brain patterns compared to those in greener areas. Brain imaging studies reveal that city dwellers have increased activity in the amygdala, associated with fear and stress, and reduced activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, associated with emotional regulation. Access to green spaces appears to be not just a luxury, but a neurological necessity. Yellow is perhaps the most psychologically complex color in the spectrum. It has the power to create intense joy and optimism, but it can also trigger anxiety, aggression, and mental fatigue. Understanding yellow means understanding how the same wavelength can produce completely opposite psychological responses, depending on context, intensity, and individual sensitivity. At its best, yellow is the color of sunshine, happiness, and mental stimulation. Yellow wavelengths stimulate the production of serotonin and dopamine while increasing mental alertness and cognitive processing speed. This is why yellow is often used in learning environments and why many successful brands, McDonald's, Best Buy, IKEA, incorporate yellow into their color schemes. Studies show that people working in yellow environments demonstrate enhanced creativity, improved problem-solving abilities, and increased willingness to take intellectual risks. Yellow stimulates the left side of the brain, which is associated with logical thinking and analytical processing. This makes yellow environments particularly effective for brainstorming, studying, and complex mental tasks. But yellow's stimulating properties can quickly become overwhelming. While small amounts of yellow can energize and uplift, too much yellow creates sensory overload. Babies cry more in yellow rooms. Couples are more likely to argue in yellow environments. People are more prone to losing their temper when surrounded by bright yellow. This happens because yellow is the most visible color in the spectrum. It's the first color our eyes detect and the last one we lose in low light conditions. This high visibility means yellow constantly demands attention from our visual system, creating a low-level stress response that accumulates over time. The psychological effects of yellow are also highly dependent on its shade and saturation. Warm golden yellows tend to create feelings of comfort and optimism. These are the yellows of sunset, of wheat fields, of candlelight, colors that our brains associate with warmth and abundance. Cool acidic yellows, the yellow-green of bile or the harsh yellow of warning signs, trigger entirely different responses, often including nausea, anxiety, and avoidance behaviors. Cultural associations with yellow vary dramatically across different societies. In Chinese culture, yellow is the color of royalty and divinity. It was forbidden for anyone except the emperor to wear certain shades of yellow. In Western cultures, yellow is associated with cowardice and caution, as in yellow belly or yellow journalism. In some African cultures, yellow represents wealth and fertility, while in others, it's associated with death and mourning. The fashion and beauty industries have long struggled with yellow because of its complex psychological effects. Yellow clothing can make people appear more confident and approachable, but it can also make them seem unreliable or frivolous. Yellow makeup tones can brighten the complexion, but can also create unflattering contrasts that make people appear sickly or tired. In marketing, yellow is used strategically to create urgency and impulse purchases. The combination of yellow's attention-grabbing properties and its association with optimism makes it perfect for sale tags, clearance signs, and promotional materials. However, luxury brands typically avoid yellow because it's associated with cheapness and mass production rather than exclusivity and quality. Orange combines the energy of red with the cheerfulness of yellow, creating a color that's almost impossible to ignore. Orange is the color of fire, of autumn leaves, of citrus fruits, and of sunsets. It's warm, energetic, and inherently social. Orange environments encourage interaction, communication, and physical activity. Psychologically, orange stimulates enthusiasm and spontaneity. It increases oxygen supply to the brain, produces an energizing effect, and stimulates mental activity. Orange has been shown to encourage risk-taking behavior and social interaction. This is why many restaurants use orange in their decor. It not only stimulates appetite, but also encourages customers to linger and socialize, leading to higher beverage sales and customer satisfaction. Orange is also associated with creativity and self-expression. Artists working in orange environments report feeling more inspired and willing to experiment with new techniques. Orange stimulates the sacral chakra in Eastern philosophy, which is associated with creativity, sexuality, and emotional expression. However, orange can also be perceived as loud, cheap, or attention-seeking. Too much orange can be overwhelming and create feelings of frivolity or lack of seriousness. This is why orange is rarely used in corporate environments or luxury branding, except when companies specifically want to communicate fun, energy, and approachability. In different cultures, orange carries various meanings. In Hinduism and Buddhism, orange represents spirituality and renunciation. Buddhist monks wear orange robes to symbolize their detachment from material possessions. In Western cultures, orange is associated with Halloween, autumn, and harvest time. In some African cultures, orange represents courage and sacrifice. The Netherlands has adopted orange as their national color, stemming from the House of Orange royal family. During World Cup soccer matches, the entire country transforms into a sea of orange, demonstrating how color can create national unity and identity. Purple has always been associated with royalty, luxury, and mystery, but these associations aren't arbitrary. Historically, purple dye was extremely expensive to produce, making it accessible only to the wealthy and powerful. The psychological effects of purple are deeply intertwined with these cultural associations, but they also have biological foundations. Purple stimulates the imagination and inspires higher ideals. It's associated with meditation, spirituality, and introspection. Purple environments encourage deep thinking and philosophical contemplation. This is why purple is often used in spaces designed for reflection, such as meditation rooms, libraries, and art galleries. Research shows that purple can enhance creativity and artistic expression. People exposed to purple environments report increased inspiration and willingness to explore unconventional ideas. Purple is also associated with intuition and psychic abilities in many cultures, though these associations are more cultural than scientific. However, purple can also be associated with loneliness and melancholy. Too much purple can feel isolating and depressing. Light purples, like lavender, tend to be calming and romantic, while dark purples can feel heavy and oppressive. In color therapy, purple is believed to balance the mind and transform obsessions and fears. It's thought to encourage artistic abilities and creativity while helping to calm mental disorders and nervous conditions. Pink is perhaps the most culturally loaded color in the modern world. While we associate pink with femininity, gentleness, and romance, these associations are relatively recent and vary significantly across cultures and historical periods. Psychologically, pink has a calming effect that's actually more powerful than other colors. Studies have shown that exposure to pink can reduce aggressive behavior and lower heart rate and blood pressure. This effect is so pronounced that some prisons and psychiatric facilities use pink rooms to calm violent patients and inmates. Pink is also associated with nurturing, compassion, and unconditional love. It represents the feminine principle in many cultures and is linked to maternal instincts and emotional sensitivity. However, these associations can also make pink seem weak or passive in competitive environments. The shade of pink matters significantly for its psychological effects. Soft pastel pinks are calming and romantic, while bright, hot pinks are energizing and attention-grabbing. Magenta, a combination of pink and purple, is particularly stimulating and is associated with innovation and unconventional thinking. In marketing, pink is used to target female consumers and to communicate sweetness, romance, and luxury. Many cosmetic and fashion brands use pink to create associations with beauty and femininity. However, the use of pink in gender-specific marketing has become increasingly controversial as society's understanding of gender becomes more nuanced. Black and white, while technically not colors, but the absence and presence of all colors respectively, have profound psychological effects that deserve exploration. Black is associated with power, elegance, and mystery, but also with death, evil, and depression. Black absorbs all light, creating a sense of weight and density that can feel either grounding or oppressive. Black environments can feel sophisticated and luxurious, but they can also feel claustrophobic and depressing. Psychologically, black is associated with authority and control. People wearing black are perceived as more powerful and competent, which is why black is common in professional and formal attire. However, black can also be associated with negativity and pessimism. White represents purity, cleanliness, and new beginnings, but it can also feel sterile and cold. White environments can be calming and peaceful, but they can also feel empty and isolated. In many cultures, white is associated with death and mourning, creating entirely different psychological associations than in Western cultures, where white represents innocence and purity. The contrast between black and white creates some of the most powerful visual effects possible. This high contrast is attention-grabbing and memorable, which is why it's commonly used in logos, signage, and artistic expression. Colors don't exist in isolation. The way colors interact with each other creates complex psychological effects that can be more powerful than any single color alone. Color harmony, the pleasing arrangement of colors, follows specific principles that have both aesthetic and psychological foundations. Complementary colors, those opposite each other on the color wheel, create high contrast and visual excitement. Red and green, blue and orange, yellow and purple. These combinations are naturally attention-grabbing because they stimulate different types of photoreceptors in your eyes simultaneously. Analogous colors, those next to each other on the color wheel, create harmony and tranquility. These combinations are easy on the eyes and create a sense of unity and calm. Triadic color schemes, using 3 colors equally spaced on the color wheel, create vibrant yet balanced effects. Temperature also plays a crucial role in color psychology. Warm colors, reds, oranges, and yellows, tend to be stimulating and energizing. They make spaces feel smaller and more intimate. Cool colors, blues, greens, and purples, tend to be calming and relaxing. They make spaces feel larger and more open. The saturation and brightness of colors also significantly affect their psychological impact. Highly saturated, bright colors are stimulating and attention-grabbing, while muted, desaturated colors are calming and sophisticated. Dark colors can feel heavy and oppressive, while light colors feel airy and uplifting. Understanding color psychology has profound implications for mental health and well-being. If you're struggling with depression, surrounding yourself with warm, energizing colors like yellow and orange might help lift your mood. If you're dealing with anxiety, cool, calming colors like blue and green might help you relax. If you're trying to be more productive, working in a blue environment might help you focus, while a red environment might give you energy for physical tasks. If you're trying to be more creative, purple or orange environments might stimulate your imagination. The colors in your bedroom affect your sleep quality. Cool, muted colors promote restful sleep, while bright, warm colors can interfere with your ability to wind down. The colors in your kitchen affect your eating habits. Red and orange stimulate appetite, while blue suppresses it. Even the colors you wear affect not only how others perceive you, but how you feel about yourself. Wearing red can boost your confidence and make you feel more powerful. Wearing blue can help you feel more calm and trustworthy. Wearing black can make you feel more sophisticated and authoritative. But color psychology isn't just about individual well-being. It has broader implications for society as a whole. The colors used in public spaces, schools, hospitals, and workplaces affect the behavior and well-being of everyone who uses those spaces. Schools that have implemented color psychology principles in their design report improved student behavior, better academic performance, and reduced disciplinary problems. Hospitals using therapeutic color schemes report faster patient recovery times and improved staff morale. Workplaces that thoughtfully incorporate color psychology report increased productivity, creativity, and employee satisfaction. The advertising and marketing industries have long understood the power of color psychology, using it to influence consumer behavior in sophisticated ways. Fast food restaurants use red and yellow to stimulate appetite and encourage quick turnover. Luxury brands use black, white, and gold to communicate sophistication and exclusivity. Health and wellness brands use green to communicate naturalness and purity. But this knowledge also raises ethical questions. If colors can be used to manipulate behavior and emotions, what are the responsibilities of those who design our environments? How do we balance the benefits of color psychology with concerns about manipulation and control? As our understanding of color psychology deepens, we're discovering that color affects us in ways we never imagined. Colors influence our perception of time, with warm colors making time feel like it's passing quickly, and cool colors making it feel slow. Colors affect our perception of temperature, with red rooms feeling warmer and blue rooms feeling cooler than they actually are. Colors even affect our sense of taste and smell. Food tastes sweeter when eaten in red environments and more bitter in blue environments. Wine tastes better when drunk from a red glass than from a green one. Strawberry mousse tastes more intense when served on a white plate than on a black one. The digital age has created new challenges and opportunities for color psychology. The screens we stare at for hours each day are influencing our mood, sleep, and cognitive function in unprecedented ways. Understanding these effects and learning to manage our digital color environments may be crucial for maintaining mental health in the modern world. Virtual reality and augmented reality technologies are opening up entirely new possibilities for using color psychology therapeutically. Imagine being able to instantly change the colors of your environment to match your mood or goals. Imagine color therapy delivered through immersive digital experiences. But as we gain the power to manipulate color environments with increasing sophistication, we must also remember the profound responsibility that comes with this knowledge. Colors aren't just pretty decorations or marketing tools. They're powerful forces that can heal or harm, inspire or depress, unite or divide. The story of Picasso's blue period reminds us that colors are intimately connected to our deepest emotions and experiences. They're part of the fundamental language of human consciousness, speaking to us in ways that bypass rational thought and connect directly with our biological and psychological systems. As we move forward in our understanding of color psychology, we have the opportunity to create environments that support human flourishing, promote mental health, and enhance the quality of life for everyone. But this requires thoughtful application of color psychology principles, combined with respect for individual differences and cultural variations in color perception and meaning. The rainbow isn't just a beautiful natural phenomenon. It's a spectrum of psychological and physiological influences that shape our daily experience in countless subtle ways. By understanding these influences, we can make more conscious choices about the colors we surround ourselves with, the colors we wear, and the colors we use to communicate with others. Whether you're designing a space, choosing an outfit, creating a work of art, or simply trying to improve your mood, remember that colors are powerful allies in the journey toward better mental health and enhanced well-being. Like Picasso eventually emerging from his blue period into the warmer tones of his rose period, we all have the power to use color consciously and therapeutically to support our psychological growth and healing. The psychology of colors reveals that we're not separate from our environment, we're intimately connected to it. The colors around us become part of us, influencing our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in ways both subtle and profound. By honoring this connection and using it wisely, we can create a world that not only looks beautiful, but feels healing, inspiring, and supportive of human potential. In the end, understanding color psychology isn't just about knowing which colors to use in which situations. It's about recognizing the profound interconnectedness between our inner and outer worlds, between our psychological states and our physical environments. It's about appreciating the subtle but powerful ways that light and color shape our experience of being human. But there's so much more to discover about this fascinating field. Let's delve deeper into some of the most cutting-edge research and surprising applications of color psychology that are reshaping our understanding of human behavior and well-being. One of the most remarkable discoveries in recent years involves the concept of chromotherapy, or color therapy, which is being taken seriously by mainstream medicine for the first time in centuries. Researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology have developed LED light systems that can precisely deliver specific wavelengths of light to treat various medical conditions. Red light therapy is now being used to accelerate wound healing and reduce inflammation. Blue light therapy is FDA approved for treating certain types of skin cancer and seasonal affective disorder. Green light therapy is showing promise for treating chronic pain and migraines. Dr. Mohab Ibrahim at the University of Arizona has conducted groundbreaking research on green light therapy for pain management. His studies show that exposure to green LED light for just 2 hours daily can reduce chronic pain by up to 60% in some patients. The mechanism appears to involve the endogenous opioid system, with green light triggering the release of natural pain-relieving compounds in the brain. This isn't just alternative medicine anymore. Major hospitals are incorporating color therapy into their treatment protocols. The Cleveland Clinic uses specific lighting systems to help regulate patient circadian rhythms and improve recovery times. Johns Hopkins Hospital has implemented color-changing LED systems in their intensive care units, using warm colors during the day to promote alertness and cool colors at night to encourage rest. The field of environmental psychology has revealed how profoundly architectural color choices affect human behavior. Dr. Sally Augustin, an environmental psychologist, has studied how color affects everything from retail sales to hospital recovery rates to educational outcomes. Her research shows that the color of classroom walls can affect student test scores by up to 15%. Math performance improves in blue classrooms, while creative writing scores are higher in yellow environments. Retail environments use color psychology with sophisticated precision. Target's signature red creates a sense of urgency and excitement that encourages impulse purchases. Walmart's blue conveys trust and value, making customers feel confident about their purchasing decisions. Whole Foods uses earth tones and greens to reinforce their natural, organic brand positioning, with studies showing that customers are willing to pay premium prices for products displayed against green backgrounds. The technology industry has become particularly sophisticated in its use of color psychology. Facebook's blue isn't just a branding choice. It's specifically chosen because blue increases user engagement and time spent on the platform. Instagram's gradient logo uses warm colors to trigger dopamine release, encouraging users to open the app. TikTok's combination of black and neon colors creates high contrast that captures attention and communicates edginess and excitement. But perhaps nowhere is color psychology more influential than in the food industry. The color of food packaging can alter taste perception even before the product is consumed. Coca-Cola's red packaging doesn't just identify the brand, it makes the drink taste sweeter. Orange packaging makes snack foods seem more flavorful and satisfying. Green packaging makes foods seem healthier and more natural, even when the nutritional content is identical to products in other colored packages. Restaurant design uses color psychology to manipulate everything from how much customers eat to how long they stay. Fast food restaurants use red and yellow because these colors increase appetite and create a sense of urgency, encouraging customers to eat quickly and leave. Fine dining restaurants often use muted blues and greens to create a calming atmosphere that encourages customers to linger and order more expensive wines and desserts. The psychology of color extends into the digital realm in ways that are only beginning to be understood. The colors of user interfaces affect how we perceive the functionality and reliability of software. Blue buttons seem more trustworthy and are clicked more often than red buttons. Green progress bars seem to move faster than red ones, even when the actual progress speed is identical. Dark mode interfaces, which have become increasingly popular, affect our sleep patterns and eye strain levels in complex ways that researchers are still investigating. Social media platforms use color psychology to engineer addictive behaviors. The red notification badges on apps trigger the same neurological response as gambling wins, creating a desire to constantly check for updates. The infinite scroll of content combined with specific color combinations creates what researchers call digital slot machine effects, keeping users engaged far longer than they intended. Color also plays a crucial role in political psychology and social influence. Political parties choose their colors carefully to communicate specific values and trigger desired emotional responses. Red states and blue states aren't just geographical designations, they're psychological categories that influence how people think about politics and identity. Campaign materials use color psychology to make candidates appear more trustworthy, more energetic, or more authoritative. The influence of color on decision-making extends to legal proceedings. Studies have shown that defendants wearing certain colors are more likely to be perceived as guilty or innocent by juries. Red clothing can make someone appear more aggressive and dangerous, while blue clothing makes them seem more trustworthy and peaceful. Some defense attorneys now consult with color psychologists when choosing what their clients should wear in court. Educational institutions are increasingly incorporating color psychology into their design and curriculum. Schools that have painted their walls in colors specifically chosen to enhance learning report improvements in student behavior, academic performance, and teacher satisfaction. Reading comprehension improves in environments with soft blues and greens. while mathematical problem solving is enhanced by exposure to red stimuli. The healthcare industry has embraced color psychology not just for treatment, but for prevention. Hospitals use specific color schemes to reduce patient anxiety, improve staff performance, and even reduce medical errors. Emergency rooms often use calming blues and greens to help manage the stress of patients and families, while surgical suites use colors that enhance focus and alertness among medical staff. Mental health treatment is being revolutionized by our understanding of color psychology. Therapists are using color-based interventions to help patients manage depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Color visualization techniques, where patients imagine themselves surrounded by specific colors, have shown remarkable success in treating various psychological conditions. Some therapists use colored lights during sessions to create specific emotional states that facilitate healing. The emerging field of circadian lighting design focuses on using color temperature changes throughout the day to support healthy sleep-wake cycles. These systems automatically adjust from warm colors in the evening to cool colors in the morning, helping to regulate melatonin production and improve sleep quality. This technology is being implemented in schools, offices, and homes with dramatic improvements in energy levels, mood, and cognitive performance. Color psychology research has revealed fascinating cultural and historical variations in color perception and meaning. What we consider universal color associations are often culturally specific. In ancient Egypt, blue was so rare and precious that it was associated with divinity and the afterlife. The ancient Romans had no specific word for blue, using the same term to describe both blue and green. These linguistic and cultural differences suggest that our relationship with color is more malleable and socially constructed than previously believed. The psychology of color is also deeply intertwined with individual personality differences. People who prefer warm colors tend to be more extroverted and emotionally expressive, while those who prefer cool colors are often more introverted and analytical. These preferences can be measured and used to predict behavior in various contexts, from career choices to relationship compatibility. Seasonal variations in color preference also reveal important psychological patterns. People living in northern climates with long winters show increased preference for warm colors during dark months, while those in consistently sunny climates maintain more stable color preferences year-round. This suggests that our color psychology is partly adaptive, helping us regulate mood and energy in response to environmental changes. The fashion industry has long understood that color affects not only how we're perceived by others, but how we feel about ourselves. Wearing red increases confidence and feelings of power, an effect that's been measured in both physiological markers like testosterone levels and behavioral indicators like risk-taking and assertiveness. Wearing blue increases feelings of trustworthiness and calm, both in the wearer and in those around them. Color therapy is being integrated into addiction treatment programs with promising results. Patients in recovery who spend time in specifically colored environments show reduced cravings and improved emotional regulation. Green environments in particular seem to support the neurological healing processes that occur during recovery from substance abuse. The automotive industry uses color psychology to influence purchasing decisions and brand perception. Luxury car manufacturers favor black, silver, and white because these colors communicate sophistication and status. Sports car companies use red and yellow to communicate speed and excitement. Electric vehicle manufacturers often use blues and greens to emphasize environmental consciousness and technological innovation. Workplace design is being transformed by color psychology research. Companies are moving away from sterile white and beige office environments toward more psychologically sophisticated color schemes. Creative departments benefit from orange and yellow accents that stimulate innovation, while analytical departments perform better with blue elements that enhance focus and accuracy. The airline industry uses color psychology to manage passenger anxiety and create brand differentiation. Calming blues and greens in aircraft interiors help reduce flight anxiety, while warm colors in airport lounges create welcoming atmospheres that encourage customer loyalty. Even the color of flight attendant uniforms affects passenger perceptions of safety and service quality. Color psychology is also being applied to urban planning and public space design. Cities are using specific color schemes to reduce crime, improve mental health, and create more livable communities. Pink lighting in certain high-crime areas has been shown to reduce aggressive behavior and vandalism. Green spaces and colorful public art installations improve community mental health and social cohesion. The gaming industry has mastered the use of color psychology to create engaging and addictive experiences. Different colored lights and visual effects trigger specific emotional responses that keep players engaged. Red often indicates danger or urgency. Blue suggests power or magic, and gold represents valuable rewards. These color associations are so deeply embedded in gaming culture that they translate across different games and platforms. Virtual and augmented reality technologies are opening entirely new frontiers for color psychology applications. Researchers are developing VR environments with precisely controlled color schemes for treating phobias, PTSD, and depression. The ability to instantly change environmental colors in virtual space allows for real-time therapeutic interventions based on a patient's immediate psychological state. The field of neuroaesthetics, which studies how the brain responds to artistic beauty, has revealed that certain color combinations activate reward centers in the brain similar to those triggered by food, sex, and drugs. This explains why certain color schemes feel immediately pleasing or beautiful, and it's leading to new approaches in art therapy and environmental design. Color psychology research is also influencing parenting and child development practices. Nursery colors affect infant sleep patterns and emotional development. Children's bedrooms painted in calming colors promote better sleep and emotional regulation, while play areas with stimulating colors encourage creativity and physical activity. Schools are using these insights to create learning environments that support different types of cognitive development. The sports industry applies color psychology not just to team uniforms, but to entire facility design. Training facilities use specific colors to enhance performance and motivation. Recovery areas use calming colors to promote healing and rest. Even the color of equipment can affect athletic performance, with studies showing that athletes perform differently when using red versus blue equipment. Aging and color perception present unique challenges and opportunities. As people age, their ability to distinguish between certain colors changes, particularly blues and greens. Understanding these changes is crucial for designing environments and products for elderly populations. Healthcare facilities for seniors use high-contrast color schemes to improve navigation and safety. The psychology of color in romantic relationships reveals fascinating patterns. Couples who decorate their shared spaces with warm, harmonious color schemes report higher relationship satisfaction. The colors people wear on first dates affect their perceived attractiveness and compatibility. Even the color of flowers in romantic gifts conveys specific emotional messages that affect relationship dynamics. Environmental sustainability and color psychology are increasingly intersected. Green building design considers not just energy efficiency, but also the psychological impact of color choices on occupant well-being. Biophilic design principles incorporate natural color palettes that connect people with nature even in urban environments, improving mental health and productivity. The future of color psychology holds exciting possibilities. Researchers are developing personalized color therapy systems that adjust environmental colors based on individual psychological profiles and real-time biometric data. Smart home systems will soon be able to automatically optimize room colors based on occupant mood, activity, and health status. Advances in brain imaging technology are revealing exactly how different colors affect neural activity in real time. This research is leading to more precise applications of color therapy for specific psychological conditions. We're learning that individual responses to color can vary significantly based on genetics, personal history, and neurological differences. The integration of artificial intelligence with color psychology is creating new possibilities for optimizing human environments. AI systems can analyze how color choices affect productivity, mood, and behavior in complex environments like offices, schools, and hospitals, making real-time adjustments to optimize human performance and well-being. Color psychology is also being applied to address global challenges like climate change and social inequality. Environmental campaigns use specific color schemes to motivate pro-environmental behavior. Community development programs use color to create more inclusive and welcoming public spaces that bring diverse groups together. The pharmaceutical industry is exploring how the color of medications affects their perceived and actual effectiveness. The placebo effect is partly mediated by color associations, with red pills seeming more stimulating and blue pills appearing more calming. This research is leading to more thoughtful approaches to medication design and packaging. As we look toward the future, it's clear that color psychology will play an increasingly important role in human health, productivity, and well-being. From personalized color environments that adapt to our individual needs to large-scale applications in urban planning and public health, the power of color to influence human experience is only beginning to be fully understood and utilized. The story that began with Picasso's Blue Period continues to unfold in laboratories, hospitals, schools, and homes around the world. Every new discovery in color psychology reveals more about the profound connections between our external environment and our internal experience. As we gain deeper understanding of these connections, we gain greater power to create environments that support human flourishing. The rainbow isn't just a beautiful natural phenomenon or a simple spectrum of light. It's a powerful tool for understanding and improving the human condition. Whether we're designing a child's bedroom, planning a hospital, creating a work of art, or simply choosing what to wear, the psychology of color offers insights that can enhance our lives in countless ways. Every color tells a story. Every hue carries meaning. Every shade affects us. The question isn't whether colors influence us. It's whether we'll learn to use that influence consciously and compassionately, creating environments that support not just our individual well-being, but the flourishing of our entire human community. The future is bright, and it's painted in colors we're only beginning to understand.